that was there to begin with, the part of the tree that died, it's still there to this day. Then I planted it outside, and we found that it was under attack by termites. Do you remember all this? Fig tree.
September 9th, 2021.
I mean, this summer especially, I thought this was going to be the year. I really did. I told
September
people on the show I thought
16th,
this was going to be the
2021.
year. But then this year, I kind of gave up on it because usually the figs, they start around June, but they could come in September. I didn't know this. So
September 10th.
Looks like a bench that was eaten by termites.
September 10th. The day before, September 9th. So I wanted to show the bench that looked like it was eaten by termites.
When you get through 2 Samuel, you'll have these memorized. There are 5
23
Philistine
hours
cities, principally, that gave the Israelites problems. Gath, that's their capital.
7:56
That's where
p.m.
Goliath was from.
9:16.
That's where the king Achish is. That's where David goes. Gath, Gaza, Ekron, Ashkelon, Ashdod. Those 5 cities were sort of in the same region, but Ziklag is far, far away, which means that's good because David can come and go and nobody will really have eyes on him. He becomes like a vassal state to the king, to King Achish, to the Philistines. So he gives him Ziklag. David's there 16 months. Verse 8, David and his men went up and raided the Geshurites, the Girzites, the Amalekites, probably the termites as well, and the turn out the lights. All of them were in that area. These are
to begin with, the part of the tree that died,
Let's go back.
it's still
September
there
9th.
to this day. Then I planted it outside, and we found that it was under attack by termites.
Eaten by termites.
The next day.
raided the Geshurites, the Girzites, the Amalekites, probably the termites as well, and the turn out the lights. All of them were in that area. These are tribes of Canaanites that have been there a long time. For those
I think the NIV says don't entertain a charge against or an accusation
Number
against
12.
an elder except on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. It's just too easy for someone to make a false accusation.
Now, you can also communicate with 2 or 3. Doesn't always mean everybody's on the same page or wavelength of communication. Could be the exact opposite sides, but there's still at least a door that's open for communication. Some people would be afraid of that if they thought they were talking to demons.
Against, and the enemy is good at that. So he says, hey, just be careful that it comes from more than one source.
But you could also be getting it you can be getting all the information from the same source, the other side. That's why both sides need to come together.
But there are times when those accusations are true.
Or maybe I should open up a store and do the same thing as everybody else. But you would need the know-how. Jacob has a nice selection of variety of stuff that it's good. It's good to have a store like that. Man, look at that. You probably didn't even have to do anything to have this store. It's just something like, hey Jacob, you want a store? Yeah, sure. You make quite a few $1 million off it. Yeah, all right, yeah, that's good. What do I gotta do? Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm probably not going to be doing too much from here on out on the days that I'm working. Like today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then some a Saturday. But the days that I'm not working, I feel better. I feel like I can stay up longer. There's no hurry, that hurry demon that gets people, because you got to hurry up and do stuff. Like it had me for the past 25 years of working every day, 5 days a week, and just time going by so fast. 45 years old, and I can't imagine working for the next 20 years and then start to retire. But you would have to pay a whole bunch of money into taxes and all that stuff, and I don't know how that's going to work, but 11/11, November 11th. Because on the best day is, well, the last day that you work. So if it's Friday, usually I got Saturday and then I got Sunday. Because I'm so used to working all those days, it turned the next Monday and Tuesday when you have off, it turns it into another Saturday and Sunday again. But I'll look at it even more as Saturday is Saturday, Sunday is Saturday, and Monday is Saturday, and then Tuesday starts to feel like Sunday. It kind of sucks. So basically, I get 3 really good days of knowing I don't have to go to work, and then the 4th day is the mind of getting yourself used to getting ready to go back to work. But I'm looking to not do work at all. And after 4 years of being on YouTube, whatever I provided for the people that are behind the scenes, there's only a few. This isn't for like just regular subs. I put up my P.O. box in order for people to contact me a little bit, a little bit more personable. But in order to not have to work for a living, I would rely on God to work through a few different people at the very top of this situation here, and just help guide in a little bit of a direction, because there's a bunch of hirelings on YouTube that, I mean, they get paid well. They get paid. I mean, it's their job. They get paid to do it. I don't get paid to do this. I don't have to do it. And even if I did get my my time's freed up somehow, because I'm going to start relying on God to open up that door. But when I say these things, I'm also opening up the door for the demonic attack even more, because there's a big deception that's coming, and it's going to look good at first. It's going to look good. It's going to be a great deal. But the goal for the other side would be to do that thing, and that's the thing that they know that they need to you got to act it out. This whole thing has to be acted out fully. So to give like direction as to that, how to get something set up like that, and then start to be successful at it. So, because like tonight, it's 8:07 p.m. I'm 9 minutes into this video, and when I put together these pieces of the puzzle, I'm doing it for the Creator, my Father in heaven. Depending on who I'm talking to, you either know him or you don't, and he's the same Father or he isn't. So with my Father in heaven, 9 minutes and 40 seconds in, what I'm going to ask for him to try to help me with is to be able to communicate better, and to have more faith in him. I was going to have more faith in him that whatever needs to happen is going to happen. I can't seem to control exactly what I'd like to have happen, because who am I to make anything change anyway? But my goal for myself would be the same exact goal for everybody else. If I can accomplish this myself and set the example, then I can start to do the same thing for anybody else when I'm fortunate enough to have that happen for me. So I would want to be treated the way that I'm treating everybody. I would want to be treated the same way. So each individual person watching, what is it that you would need each month in order to have your bills paid, and not, you're not a big spender, you don't get, spend a lot of money all the time, but you basically make wise decisions with it. So the basic bills that you have, how much is it that you would need in order to free up your life? Like, if that is just situated, and let's say you have like a church in your neighborhood, and that church, with this new system, that church seeks for people to pay their bills so they can free up their life to help them at the church. For me, it's about $3,500, $4,000 altogether per month. That the only reason I'm working is to pay those bills. I'm not a lazy person. I've been working for the past 25 years nonstop, and it's just like, what did I do that for? Why did I always felt like that I'm a really good worker and I do things fast when I'm motivated, but it's different now because I'm on the clock and it's whatever I'm doing. It's not really what I want to do at all. If it was up to me, I wouldn't work whatsoever, physical labor, but I would still build stuff and make, furniture, that kind of thing. But I would also be able to just do whatever it is that I want to do. And I mean, that would be like heaven, for God to, for me to rely on God to start to work through. Because here's what God is. God is a spirit and a movement. If you can get through words by, like, if I can hop on this YouTube platform and after 4 years I start thinking, you know what, maybe I should start asking for something, because I don't ask for anything. And I've been doing this non-stop, putting so many people to work, overtime. I mean, you guys get paid. I heard that each video you get like a percentage or something. And I think I heard that from Scotty Alpine. But I've kept a lot of people busy. I've kept a lot of people entertained. I've kept a lot of people disgusted, sickened. They can't stand me. They'll punch my face. I kept a lot of people watching. And then after 4 years, I monetized that one video, Walmart. I'm not going through trying to do it again. But it was $250 a month. And that was good, just for that little whatever it is that I did. But now, like, I really don't want to actually feel like I have to do anything. But you have to, if you're relying on the system. Like, if there's people that want me to come out of this world, well, guess what? The only way to come out of this world system and spend 100% of my time with this church, opposed to working and doing whatever it is I need to pay the bills, relying on God to work through people, to be able to, it's like, so you got the ones that are in control. You might be in control of your business, what you have, and you over there, and all these separate people, but are in like the same mindset, the same church. Well, then you help out because I'm just by myself, and I'm looking to, I don't know, however this movement thing goes, and however it continues on, but to use words to create something out of nothing. And so far, just by me saying something, I've raised the 700. Me and my mom split the 1,400, and she gets half of what I get from whenever and however, from whoever, and without saying something out loud, because I'm going to see her on Sunday, and I'm going to give her the $600 check. I might record it. I don't know. I might just get her reaction, because she cries a lot when things like that happen, because someone actually cares about her. So my mom really appreciates those that donated, and I get, you get the comment of whoever else is laughing. This is about speaking something into existence, making it happen. You tell me you wouldn't want to wake up when you feel like waking up in the morning. You can sleep in if you want, you can wake up early if you want, but the fact that you don't have to get up is the greatest feeling every single day, that you don't have to get up. So I experience that 4 days a week, and the other 3, I don't, and I know my boss is trying to get me to come back more, but I told him today, because he asked me, he's like, well, time to start putting in some more work at Labor Day. I said, yeah, like here and there. Like, what have you been doing it? I said, you know what? Nothing really, just enjoying my life. So I thought I would take those days off to go do some more work when I wanted to, but I didn't feel like doing it the entire time. The only thing I did was I built that entertainment center for my stepson for free. Oh, he had to pay the material, but I built it for free, and I enjoyed it. And so that's what I like. I enjoy doing that for free for somebody. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'll just set the example where there are people out there that are in position to, you've hired a bunch of people. As a matter of fact, you have a bunch of, I can go down the list of many people that you've hired on YouTube that gets paid well. And I would love to free up my time. So this isn't for my regular subs. I don't, if you send anything, that's on you. That's your decision that you make. It's free will. I'm not going to deny it. And I'm not going to act like I wouldn't want to be like every other human being on the planet that doesn't have to wake up in the morning and go do a pointless job in order to get home to sit and do what you really wanted to do for others. Because people know I'm sincere, and they know that what I say I'll do, because you're being watched anyway. You might as well do what you say you're going to do to establish credit with those that can see that you're not supposed to know and hear, and they understand it. So I'm talking to them. I'm not specifically talking to any person that is just outside of the inside, because that's the part that, however this thing works, in order to succeed and speak those words and have it actually happen, and because people are really appreciative and they do know it is true. It's like, yeah, it is right. Remember that Fauci bargain we gave that guy, dummy over there? We can at least throw Robin like that. I'll tell you what, you send him $1,000 on that prepaid credit card. I'll send it through somebody else's name, pretending it's not me. And you and you and you. So I just need 4 winds from heaven to just like, whoosh, and they just blow like $1,000 a month each, and then it frees up my time. And then and what I can do is I can start traveling and going and seeing people, just as long as I have enough gas money to get there. And maybe somebody else is more fortunate than I am, and they can pay for the the amount of gas that it takes to travel there, and whatever food. I don't eat that much of it. I don't really. I can eat oodles and noodles. Really, I don't even have to eat anything. As a matter of fact, I go see someone. I'll just fast the entire time. I won't even be a burden to you if I stay. So I'm gonna definitely visit, or I'm gonna try to visit Brian Tucker in down near Chicago. It was nice of him to offer for me, my mom, to come live with him. I mean, you got extra rooms there, and that would be it's an honor that somebody would even say that. And I know that Tucker, you're serious about it, but you got to remember the Truman Show. He tried to go to Chicago. See how that happened? It didn't work out too well for him because they didn't want him to go anywhere until he stepped out of the world system. The only way you can do that is if when the currency is the way it is, I can step off from working, period. Like, yeah, Dave, this is my last day. I'm done. What are you going to do? My boss will be like, what are you going to do, Robin? Like, I have a few people, I don't really know who they are. I know who they are. I never met them, but they're paying my bills for me. Why is that? Well, I'm not really sure. Just I'm saying some things, and they appreciate what I'm saying. So, I mean, I showed your whole landscape of your Satan's house that you bought, boss. So, but I'm there working, and I guess it was supposed to. Maybe I just was thinking. Maybe I was just talking to myself too much. Like Skip was saying, that sometimes people do, and they talk themselves into scenarios that aren't really happening. So the thing is, that will happen in the future. I'm just not sure exactly when, and I don't know also for sure if it wouldn't happen if I didn't ask for it. Like if you ask and you don't receive, but then that's going to make that part in the Bible seem like a liar. You ask and you shall receive. Well, what are you asking though? What are you asking? And where's your heart at when you're asking? And who are you asking for that to take place? I'm trying to establish a church. I didn't realize I was trying to do that. I didn't know it until recently that I guess that's what this is. I mean, if I freed up my time from those that are willing to help, then that would mean that I don't have to show you guys as much. Like I don't have to keep showing like what you're saying and then how it's lining up with Jacob and with something he says, and then that where there's two or more, there's a communication, but but people are still acting it out. There are people that are acting it out because they're not at the end yet, and their heart hasn't completely changed over to Christ, but it sounds good. I mean, it sounds like legit, and there's a lot of things to learn about what people say, and then and like where people's heart is as they're saying certain things, because where they're at in these situations here. And so one of them here is that the law is dead. So even with the male-female host body system, as the male does away, he cast his pearls before swine, and the swine chewed it up and ate. It chewed it up and ate it. So the ones that cast their pearls before the swine as a male becomes the female, which automatically becomes a widow, because you're no longer married to you're fatherless, so you become a widow. In that sense, there's one way that I seen that, and then the other way is the women in the Bible. There's women in the Bible, and but you wouldn't know that if you seen like their face, because some of them they have like a hair of a woman, they have the face of a man, and you have to discern that through the spirit that's inside of the face that you see. Some of them have four. I think there's three. There might be 3 or 4. They have 4 different faces of each one in like the same vessel, like Derek was saying over there. I mean, the woman that he had over there that was saying that, because that takes place too. So it's pretty amazing how how you can get to know someone's heart. Even it's like you might meet somebody and you've never seen that person before, but you know the spirit inside of that, behind the whole suit. And I think that's what it comes down to. You have to discern that. So there's going to be a couple of them that come up to you. I remember, I think it was 3 years ago on my wife's birthday, 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, on March 24th, I believe it was 2018, maybe 2019 at the latest. And these 2 witnesses came up because they said they were 2 witnesses, and they said that they're there for me because the gematria told them to do that. Like, man, that was classic. I know he was recording because he had his phone out, but so there's going to be 2 of them that come around. So they do that to try to get you to believe like you're God when nobody is, and that's the whole trick that's being played. And opening up the door, if you resist, you can tell Satan to get behind you and beat it, and then he'll resist you. But if you don't tell him like to beat it, and you're communicating with Satan throughout this YouTube platform, the spirit of Satan, well, some have had that spirit and have now have the other spirit in the same vessel, because that's why God said it shall not touch that knowledge of the tree, because when you do, and then when you after time when your heart changes, your sin that you commit day in and day out, or whenever it is, it starts to make you sick. It starts to make you sick about how you feel about yourself. And that's just the reason why I was saying it, because it wasn't like you're going to die, even though that's the interpretation of it. But you're going to die in Christ. So you're going to have Christ in you, and then you're going to have the Spirit of Christ in you. And that's how that works. And with Noah and Kim talking about the dove and the dirty bird, letting the dirty bird out first, the raven representing Satan, like the dirty bird. And that's interesting also. So all these things that are happening, it's about the law being dead, which is the husband. So the woman, whatever represents the woman in the Bible as Israel, or the woman with the 12 stars above her head and Lucifer under her feet. And because Lucifer he's the light bearer, and he gets his light from the sun. So without the sun, he can't reflect off of, according to the law of physics and scientists. The only way I can climb up those steps and step out of this world system is when that exit is when you don't need, I think, what was it? Saul, he forgave someone from paying their taxes. But doesn't that just mean that you're exempt from paying taxes because you never need money again, ever? So that would be the only way that can happen, is by stepping out of the world system, relying on God to work through his people that are generous enough and want to do that because they've been helped tremendously spiritually, and there is a point in time where that does take place. So whether I'm saying it sooner, or if I didn't say it, I wouldn't receive if I asked. I've been given freely, so I'm just waiting for the receiving freely. I haven't, really experienced that part, but I have experienced receiving that information freely from everybody that I show clips of. But in order to step out of this planet system, and I'm sure there's another interpretation of, he has to go and open up door 237, which I'm not doing. I'm not opening up that door because there is no thou shall not touch in the way which is the biggest lie that got people to open up that door right there. So that's one way of looking at it. Male-female system. In order to get out of this world, it's the only way you can do it, or you're just going to die. I'm looking at it as stepping out of the world system, more like Christ ascending up to the Father, and the Father is behind this door. The door is opened up for Christ to step through in order for the Father to work that miracle where you can literally retire because you decided to make a YouTube channel and start speaking about things that people are doing that you'll never be able to prove except for to those that run the planet, which is the greatest thing, because you can help. You can prove what they're doing and saying, and then you can help them out as like a shrink or a psychiatrist, or you can be a good teacher if you want, and it pays off in the end because you've relied on God's people to start to dish out what you've been given them in return, only because the law states that the Bible states that that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm just going by that. There's an inheritance, there's an appreciation. You can see this one way or the other. You can see it as room 237, doing the fruit, eating the fruit, touching that knowledge, or it's God opening up the door for you as you're already up, walking up, because the stairway to heaven, walking up, ascending to the Father. And then the way that you can ascend to the Father is by speaking words and then making it happen. And if you didn't say anything, like if I never said anything and I kept the demons inside of my head telling me not to say something because I'll feel a certain way, or I'll worry about what somebody might think or say or comment or make a video or whatever it is, if I didn't say anything, well then I would in all likelihood believe that I'd probably have to work until the day I die, unless I worked really, really hard for the next 20 years, 10 years, and saved up and bought a little piece of property somewhere. But other than that, I'm going to speak my way into, I'm going to look back on this video in the future, and I'm going to speak my way into retirement, because 9/16/2021, whether it's through U.S. currency or a credit system or some kind of new access card that just gets you access because you believe in God and you told the truth. I mean, that's basically the card I'm looking for. I know it doesn't exist just yet, but they're being printed. They're being thought of to be printed, to be made. It's like a gold card. It's gold, and it's like a golden card, and it's like the gold. It'll be a key card made out of the shaped like a key, and you can just like show it to whatever. You just scan whatever, and it's like, okay, Mr. T's coming right through. Just like, companies have, like my boss at Ace, he has an account. So anybody that goes in there, you give them your name if you're on a list, and you can buy whatever it is in that store. Now, of course, it's for the company, but what that reminded me of is that's the same way it is with you guys, right? Where you have this card that if you feel like going and buying just a brand new like Lamborghini or something, or a cool ass Stingray Corvette, and you enjoy material things because you like to drive nice cars. Who doesn't? So in your head, there's demons that will tell you things from before that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. And it really will make you feel guilty if you're doing that. Like if you're enjoying your life and you're not, oh, I feel bad. I can't enjoy it. I'm sure Kim is like, what kind of car you drive, Kim? You probably drive a fast. I think you probably have a Corvette. You look like a Corvette kind of person. But anyway, when you're stick shift, it's all cool. And these are good things to do. Like, if I had the ability to give people, I would love to see, the top people on my channel. I'm not going to go into names, but top people down, and just like watch your face when I hand you the keys to this thing. Say here's a card. It'll get you whatever you want. You know why? Because you stuck with me and you believed, like, somewhat in me that I would create this. And look, here's the video. Remember I said that? And look, here's the key. And it's all based on telling the truth and resisting Satan, and then being able to stop the head of Satan, and then bruising it, and then, becoming mutual friends. Becoming mutual friends with AI, the algorithm, even if nobody's real. Even if everybody is like a robot and you just have mask on and you're communicating like in front of I don't really know anybody. I don't really know anybody from anywhere before I hopped on YouTube. Anybody I'm showing, and I only met a couple people, and I don't really know, but I'm going to talk these things out loud. That way they can start to happen, because I've never been asking for anything. And you're supposed to not ask for anything? Why is that? You don't want what? People to make fun of you? People to think you're begging and grubbing for stuff? Hypocrites, because everybody on the planet would love for people to pay their bills for them, wouldn't they? So anybody that says anything like that would be a hypocrite. But what did you do to earn your works that does follow you in order for you? Because there's a lot of people that are promised to go home coming up. But remember, broken promises. What I'm saying to you, anybody that has that dead set dogmatic promise that is definitely from that group of people I'm talking about, when you see that happen in the future, where it happens the exact opposite, and I was saying that that's how it was going to happen before it did, this would be the video to look back on among the other 3,000 or so, not to mention the ones that deleted a long time ago. So it's probably like 4,000 videos in 4 years. What did I really say? I said a lot of things, but apparently everything I said is going to get me to retire earlier. And yeah, I can go through some tricks and trades and a couple people that are in the communication bubble are, acting it out. You got to act it out, right? Some aren't, some are. Some are on this end, some are on that end. But both ends know the end result. You know the end of the story. There's a group that wants you to believe it's just starting when you're at the end. And that's the biggest trick, is to just start. and then accepting currency, U.S. currency at this moment. Just by me saying it out loud is going to get, even if demons are trying, it's going to get them to provide as well. They may not even know that that's what they're doing, or they may be acting it out and doing it as well. Because I'm never going to sign away my soul. I'm never going to swear to secrecy. Now, some things I might not say, like when people write me with my P.O. Box, P.O. Box 184, Warrington, PA 18976, for anybody that wants to contribute or write me a letter. That way, there's the communication box. It's like I think it's like a 3x3 box, maybe 3x5. Is it 3x5? Maybe no. I think it's only 3x3 for now to see. And so whatever happens in that box, it opens a door for those that truly do have everything that they've ever wanted, and you have access to whatever it is, but you never had that spirit until recently. So that's the appreciation factor. You give and receive. One hand washes the other. I'm trying to free up my time and talk about it. That way it can actually take place. And then look back on this video in the future. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I didn't allow demons or people to transfer demons into my mind to prevent me from asking, because this is a time that I put in a lot of work, and I don't ask for anything. And there are hirelings out there who they really appreciate their boss. And I'm just looking to partner up with their boss. But I'm never signing anything. It would have to be like one of those. There's never going to be a signature of my name on that thing before the time is due. In the future, it's different because all the tricks are done. You know what the deal is. You've been told the truth. You've ascended up where to the Father is full knowledge of everything. 100% knowledge of everything. And that's why some people the Pharisees have tried to get Christ to basically say that he is God, he is the Father, when he was just the Son. And he didn't ascend up to the Father yet because, number one, they didn't stop playing tricks because they were acting it out still. And number two, well, you're not told the entire truth, so how can you ascend up to the Father? Ascending up to the Father is full knowledge of everything. So that's my goal. My goal is to step out of the world system. I'm going to talk it, speak it into existence, and at the same time, on Sunday, I'm going to go hand my mom a 600-hour check. I already gave her $100 out of the $1,400 total, $200 from Samantha, and then $1,200 from Tucker, to two at once, and $1,000 at the other. And the same thing can keep happening where the ones at the top, they don't even, it's not like I expect their actual name to be on it. Like, hey, look, like I don't expect Kim to write me a check and have his name on it. But I do expect that it would be a similar situation where it just comes in from different places, because all you got to do is, out of your gazillions of dollars that you have, you just put 1,000 on that card for this month, and then those other three people, they do the same thing, and it frees up my time. And if they want to be more generous, they can be more generous. Again, I'm not talking to anybody except for a handful of people, like maybe like this many. Really, I mean, it only takes contribution, and then just see where this goes. It's crazy that you can. This is a time to create. You can create your future. I'm creating my future for my retirement, and it's going to happen. And I'm going to look back on this video and see it, and then look at where it got me, and be like, "Hey, Robin. Hey, Robin. You're in the future now, aren't you?" "Oh, yep. When 44 minutes in, 53 seconds, you decided to come to this area section here. Hey, Robin, from the future, how does it feel knowing that you stepped out of the world system because you spoke it into existence, and God said, if you ask, you shall receive, and you're receiving it right now, right? All the tricks are being done. You know exactly your entire role, why, everything. Everybody told you the truth. You're retired now. You drive whatever car you want, and you got that beautiful house that was built. And man, how is life treating you now? You don't have to get up and you don't have to do anything, because you know why? Because from the gate, you didn't change, and you didn't comply, and you didn't fold, and you were tried through the fire, and you were like tried through the fire, and you didn't burn. Matter of fact, others burned because of you. They got burnt, and they got stuck. But they also, at 8:48 p.m., September 16, 2021. Well, anyway, Robin, I'm really proud of you for speaking your mind this entire time. Even though right now I'm back here at September 16th and you are years ahead, but great job. So it should teach people that don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't let anybody's transfer demons. That's what they do. They speak and in hopes of transferring their demon to you, so you don't ask. That way you won't receive, because they know that if you ask, you're going to receive. So that Satan, that's still running through them, will try to prevent you by transferring a demon over. But that doesn't work anymore. It's just, it doesn't work. And the ones that have this door opening up, they know that. They know that I won't open up door 237, and the others know that that door right there is God opening up. And that's what it is. Because when you can't see a person but a spirit, and it opens up a spiritual door and you go through it, Satan will try to get people to look at this as a literal door, but God will get you to understand it's a spiritual door. You ascend up to the Father and you step outside of the world system. Because guess who? Like, guess who this is? Who would this be in the YouTube platform world? Who would this guy be right here that runs this planet? I mean, would you not consider him the angel of the bottomless pit? Because it's the pit that they had Truman in.
Speak.
It's God.
I can hear you. Who are you? I am the creator of a television show that gives hope and joy and inspiration to millions. Then who am I? You're the star.
So I figured.
There's nothing real. You
Just you, Truman.
is what made you so good to watch. Listen to me, Truman. There's no more truth out there.
I would think you guys would be bored watching me, like, all my life.
World
Or at least since I was born. You know, that birth.
I created for you. Same lie. The same deceit. But in my world, you have nothing to fear.
Gee, thanks for the world that you created for him. Like, that's not really a what he had to go through, and you created that for him. That I would want to step out of that world too.
I know you better than you know yourself.
Never had a camera in my head.
Afraid.
Never had a camera in my head.
That's why you can't read. The same deceit. But in my world,
Which one?
you have nothing to fear.
Where's that camera at?
I know you better than you know yourself.
never had a camera in my head.
Never had a camera in my head.
Afraid. That's why you can't leave.
See ya.
It's okay, Julian. I understand. I've been watching you your whole life.
Now, that could mean like your YouTube birth, your whole life from that point on, you got on the radar.
I was watching when you were born.
Yep.
I was watching when you took your first step.
Your first video.
I watched you on your first steps.
I watched you in the bathroom while you're naked. I watched you shower and
So when
watched
you lost your
you that sexy boy. I watched you masturbate. I watched everything about you.
You can't leave, Julian.
Can't hide anything from me. Oh yeah, Saul. Well, hey, you know why David went in? My theory is when Saul was caught, when David cut a piece of his hem of his garment, and then he went back to the leader and said, "Why didn't you protect the king?" It's because they tried so hard to protect who Saul is, and because David found out who Saul is, he went through the CIA secrets of trying to keep secrets. So therefore he felt bad too, like cutting his garment, proving that. And then at the same time, when they were all sleeping, literally took his sword and the jug of water by his head, and nobody knew because, well, again, he went in like through this YouTube platform, through the barriers, and found Saul with his leaders that couldn't stop it from happening, and it happens. That's how that worked out.
on here
Christoph.
with me. Talk to me.
You can just work for the rest of your life with me.
Say something.
We can be partners. What do you think?
Say something, goddammit. You're on television. You're live to the whole world.
Really? Is that the way it is? He doesn't look like a real person. That's probably the Click twins.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening. Yeah.
Anyone, it's a good. I'm going to tell you and teach you how you can get on God's good side. There's something what you can do where you can get on God's good side and show you favoritism and blessing. And how you do that is you give me $1 million. No, we don't want that for our church building, amen? So you all pray for that one. I will love you if you give me $1 million, though, you know? So you can
That's
get a church
great.
building, nice one. But the thing is that the point is that
Huh? Get a building, nice church. I don't need a nice building because my church it's simply through here. I just sit in a corner somewhere and do church.
you get a church building, nice one. But the thing is
But I mean, that would be nice. Have a place to go with like-minded individuals.
7 here. But we do know this is that you can connect dots over here because remember 7 is supposed to represent perfection. It's complete. It's completed. It's God's number. God's number. I see a pattern too much over here throughout Scripture. There is no doubt that 7 means completion. It means God's number. So remember that. There's too many. This is a proof text when you look at Genesis 8:10 that 7 should represent it's complete. It's done.
So on my days that I have work, I'm just gonna focus more on just getting work done and getting enough sleep in order to go to work. And I don't know if I'm gonna be being up every night in front of the computer, or even doing videos until the days that I can dedicate my time to just sticking with that, and I don't have to wake up early, because right now I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's 9:28, and so if I wake up at 6 a.m., I get about 8 hours sleep, and that's what I need to start doing instead of staying up 12 o'clock at night, getting 6.5 hours sleep. My body needs the 8 hours, so I'll do that, and I'm just gonna see where God's people are. Where's the timing at? And for everybody else, just keep acting it out until the very end. What else you gonna do?